birthday. Yay!
Hey,
welcome.
thank you. How are you?
So, I am excited to be able to talk to you today.
I'm
And
excited.
it's a little hot, so I'm going to be fanning, doing a little fanning.
I'm hot too. I hope you can't hear my fan.
I can't. I can't
Okay,
hear it.
because
I
I
just
don't want to
ran
turn
and
it off.
that's why I was late. I was jumped up. I had to go turn the air conditioner on. I was like so excited.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and introduce you. And like I said, people are gonna be popping in on and off. There's a lot of interviews, and so we're just gonna go ahead. And I see Shar is here because, hey, Shar.
Hey, shy girl.
um, yes. So let me do my introduction. And in 2022, this author began her journey of creating beautiful Black romance stories with captivating characters. She has written over 8 books. She's written 8 books, but technically 9 because there's one being released on August 8th that we're all excited and waiting for. Um, she is currently with B Love Publications, where she continues to thrive. And yay, 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 we're excited to have you today, y'all. This is our, make sure I said it right, Jaimsss P, right?
Jaimsss P. Yep.
Jaimsss P. All right. So I'm ready. You ready?
I'm ready. Thanks.
So let's jump right into this. Again, if y'all watching, y'all can drop questions down where it's the circle. It's a question mark with a circle around it. And we'll
I
try to
love
get
you,
to it
Shar.
before it's over. And let's go. The first question is always the same on Girlfriends Unfiltered. It's when did you fall in love with writing Black romance stories?
When did I fall in love with writing them?
We're just falling in love with Black love stories.
I fell in love with Black love stories. I will never forget this.
Okay.
My mother is from South Carolina, and so we visited them for Christmas, Thanksgiving, and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
And on the way home, right before we left, one of my aunts gave me a book. It was called All That in a Bag of Chips by Darian Lee.
Okay.
And she told me to give it to my mom. I was probably 9. She told me to give it to my mom because she thought my mom would like the book.
Okay.
But on the way home, it took us about 7 hours to get home. On the way home, my 9-year-old behind read that book and I loved it. And I read it like every day. And it was just my favorite thing. I
Mm-hmm.
got a library card and I got all the books that came after it by the same author. And
Uh-huh.
from there I couldn't get enough of Black romance. And I've always been a writer.
Okay.
I always took pride in like writing my church notes at church, writing school notes really pretty. I always love to just write. The act of writing has always brought me joy.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe when I was about, I think I was in 8th grade when I wrote my first story that got recognition, and
Okay.
people said it was a good one. And so at that point, I was like, well, maybe I should do this. And
Uh-huh.
I just kept writing from there.
So 8th grade, prior to 8th grade, so you're 9, you read this book. Did you tell your mama you read that book?
I don't think I probably still have the book. I don't think I ever gave her the book. I loved it so
Wow.
much. It was so good.
So it was Black love. What type of writer do you define yourself as? Because I know some people are from urban romance, Black romance. Like, what do you define yourself as?
I define myself as a contemporary romance author with an urban flair. I don't write urban romance, but I do write somewhat urban male characters.
Mm-hmm.
I come
Yeah.
from a very urban-esque city, and
Mhm.
so I write what I know. And yeah, I don't write lames, but it's contemporary, it's sweet, it's relatable. That's what I write.
It's very relatable. You mentioned how you write from your city, but you tend to write fictional cities. Talk about that. Like, why have you chosen to write fictional? You created like a whole fictional universe for your characters in both of the books the last 2 books that I read, which is
Yeah,
Phase and To As Sweetest. What is it? The
His Sweetest
Sweetest.
Escape.
Yes.
Yeah. My first books, which are A Love That Saves and A Love That Restores,
That's
I
awesome.
wrote those books. The setting, yeah, that one
Yeah.
right there.
Okay.
hmm
Beautiful. Look at that beautiful cover.
I love that cover so much.
And then,
I love that stories. Yep.
yeah.
Those are my favorites. I
Hmm.
wrote those books. The setting in those books are Atlanta, Georgia. I'm from Georgia.
Okay.
And I went to college in Atlanta. And so, because those stories were college stories, I
Hmm.
wrote them in Atlanta. And after that, I was like, you know what? And I wrote a couple books based in Atlanta after that. But I was like, I just want to do my own thing and make this city whatever I want it to be. I want it to still be Southern and, country a little bit and just what I know. But
Hmm.
also, I just want to be able to do what I want to do. And so that's where the state of Cheney comes in.
How did you do that? Did you map it out? Like, do you have so you can remember where everything is? And
I have my iPad Air. That's my baby. I write everything in there. If you look in my Good Notes app, it's a whole mess, but I definitely mapped it out. I have a whole state sign for Cheney. It's a literal world. But I got all that together before I incorporated it into my first book.
Mhm.
But yeah, I just wanted to be able to write what I wanted to write without having to think about different streets in Atlanta, just things like that. I
Yeah,
just wanted to do what I wanted to do. And so
that's
Cheney is just it's just mine and I love it.
I look. I love it too.
I
Because
love it.
sometimes, as a reader, when you're reading, your brain wants to go to the area that the author's talking about,
Yeah,
and so it's like now it's like, well, okay, let me look up Cheney. Well, no, Cheney don't exist. So
just in my
it's a
head.
good thing. Um, I'm gonna ask you a little about just so your writing journey. You said eighth grade, right?
hmm
And so, were you good in English class? And when you were writing these stories in eighth grade, were they were they Black love stories?
They were not black love stories. They were just
Mhm.
stories. It
Okay.
was honestly me writing for standardized tests, and I got an award in eighth grade for having the best narrative story. And I was really a student, honestly. I felt like I was just not good at school because
Mhm.
English, literature, all of those things came easy to me. But I
Mhm.
felt like just the school structure and how I came up, math and science were what were considered the smart subjects. And so
Mhm.
I never felt smart. English was easy. English was easy. History was easy, but people never really considered those like things to be considered smart in. And so
Mhm.
I just didn't feel very smart. And so when I got the award for having the highest score on that narrative writing test, I was like, okay, people consider this like a thing. Like
Mhm.
this is something that I find it comes easy to me, and I'm now
Mhm.
being recognized for it. And so I leaned into literature at that point because I was bad at math and I was
That's
bad at
funny.
science, but I was always great in English and history. Those are my subjects.
So I always ask for the new authors, like when it comes to like creative mind, because you're really good at character development. And so that makes sense through English and things like that. Like, what is that process like? Like, how do you come up with the the character? What does your character creation look like?
My character creation is a very extensive process. I've been writing professionally since 2022, and I only have 8 coming up on 9 books. And it really is because I put a lot of thought into the
Hmm.
story. I
Hmm.
pride myself on writing relatable stories, and the whole it has to make sense to me. Like, why are these people supposed to be together? And I never want it to be a book where they're just together because me, the author, told you that they love each other. I want you to feel like they love each other. And so we have to start from ground zero. We have to start from the very beginning of their character development, and I have to get to know them
Hmm.
extensively before I can start writing their love story, because it just has to make sense. And so I always start with a visual, what I want them to look like, and then what
Hmm.
I want them to sound like, and then what are their traits. And I always base it off of people I know, whether it's
Okay.
me, my best friend, my shooter. I call my best friend my shooter. Um, it's always qualities of someone I know in the story, and so
Mhm.
it's because it's what I know, and I just want to make it real for me, so that when people read it, it feels real to them. And I
It
don't know if
does.
I answered the question, but
You did, and it
yeah,
does. And when you mention your best friend, you're really good about having solid girl friendships
I don't
in
play
your
by that.
books.
I don't play.
I
Mm-hmm.
love that. And the importance of it. You make sure that, well, why do you make sure you always get that in there?
Because it's real.
Mhm.
Before all these women, just in general, before
Mhm.
you find your man, your forever man, you have your family, you got your friends, and that's just real life. And
Mhm.
so, and I love my friends so much. I love my family so much, and that's a part of making it relatable. That's a part of making it real. I always ensure that I incorporate friendships and familial relationships because, like, who, I mean, I guess there are people who are not close to their family, but I am,
And
and
there's
these
a
are
lot of
my
books
books.
that don't reflect that.
Yeah, these are my books, and I write what's real to me, and whoever feels it. So it's just a part of making it real, making it
Yes.
relatable.
And they're gentle. They're gentle with each other. Like you can feel it, like how
Yeah.
they are with each other. Um, when you started writing, what was that getting a publisher experience like for you?
Uh,
You
it was
just did.
honestly God. It was, I graduated from Clark Atlanta University with a print journalism degree. And
Mhm.
so I always knew I loved to write, but it took a minute for me to figure out that I wanted to write stories.
Mhm.
And so as I went through my bachelor program, I realized I don't like to write news. So I don't want to be a print journalist.
Okay.
I started teaching English to third grade children. I loved
Okay.
that, but
Okay.
it didn't quite hit the spot. It just wasn't what I wanted to do with the rest
Mhm.
of my life.
Mhm.
And so I started doing some research, and the degree, creative writing, became known to me. And I went back to school for a master's in creative writing. For
Wow.
that program, I had to write a thesis, and the thesis was a research part and it was a creative part. And for
Okay.
the creative part, I basically had to write a book. And that was A Love That Saves. And so once
Yes.
I wrote the book,
Yes. Yes.
yeah,
This
once
was your
I wrote that
thesis.
book, I literally said to myself, girl, you wrote a book. Do something with it. And I
Uh-huh.
love Be Loved. Like, I love Be Loved down. And so
Yes, we all
I
do.
said, I went to her Facebook, I think, and it said that she was accepting submissions. So I said, girl, you wrote this book. Do it. And I emailed it to her. She emailed me back the same night
Uh-huh.
and said, welcome. So that's really
Listen,
what happened. Yep.
that's why these books are golden because you
Yep.
have a gift.
That
Like
is my
Short said,
thesis right there.
yes, this is your thesis.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, you know I'm gonna be telling everybody this, right? Because I have interviewed a lot of people. I have never heard anyone say that. And that is
That's
so
literally
dope.
what it was. I took a chance and sent her the book just because I had already written it anyway, and she
Uh-huh.
liked it. That was it.
So part two just flowed with it.
Part two, I always had part two in mind. I literally had to defend it. My thesis director, she didn't like that it ended on a cliffhanger. I had to defend to her, like, girl, this is not the end. This is what I plan to do with
Okay.
the book. And so, yeah, it was all there when I wrote the thesis. But honestly, I
Mhm.
don't even know if I ever actually planned on it coming out. But I definitely had the story in my head, and I don't know what made me email Beloved Publications that night, but I did, and
I
here we
guess
are.
I just have to ask this question. How did your how did your professor feel about the sex scenes?
Okay, so I
Had
went
to ask.
to graduate school. I went to graduate school at Liberty University, and if you don't know, that is a Christian-based university.
Okay.
I'm actually getting my doctorate in English from there right now. Love my school.
Listen.
I did not write. There, they were closed door love scenes in my
Mhm.
thesis. I had to
Okay.
expand on those after I sent the book to Be Love Publications. It got accepted. I did some tweaks. And
Okay.
so I didn't add them in there. But that's also another aspect of why that book is a little more all my books are really sweet, but that book is really, really sweet and much less spicy because that's just not what it was. And I already had to really defend because I went to a Christian school. I had
Right.
to defend why they were even having sex before marriage because they had to have sex before marriage so that they
Right.
could have
Right.
the baby.
Mhm.
But I had to defend all that going to the school I went to.
Well, I
Yeah.
love this. I love hearing this story. I don't know why things it just makes me so excited. Let me ask you, we're gonna get over to the most recently released books. But what has been your favorite book to write thus far?
My favorite book is definitely A Love That Restores. Um, because I just love Joseph and Davy's connection. I love them so much. I don't know if it's because they're my first, but they are my favorite people. And
Mhm.
Davy is not even like me. I think the only thing that's the closest to me is I did write that she has a high pitched voice, and I have a high pitched voice, but
Uh-huh.
she's just my favorite person. I love her so much. She's just kind of, she wears her heart on her sleeve. She's not scared to say what she feels. She's
Uh-huh.
confident, but she's also sweet. And then Joseph, he just don't play about his sunshine. I love them so much. They my
You know
favorite.
what? These are really great books. And so I'm just gonna jump on down to promoting right now
Mm-hmm.
because I think it's so important to promote your backlog. And I know we are all so excited about the new books, but I wanted to take a moment to let you talk about your backlog and share what you want so people could know all that's there because I mean, just I mean, this was a thesis. Like, I'm just blown away by that. Okay. And so just to know how your work has even grown since this, right? So can you share the journey with some of the books with everyone?
Yeah, the journey has been wild. I've definitely grown as a writer as I've continued to write these books. So they started as I started writing, I was in like the 60K range. But as I continue and I continue to learn how to develop characters and how to
Mhm.
develop a love story that makes sense, I realized that I'm kind of a long-winded girly. I like the 90K. I like the books that look like Harry Potter books. And so I think the first one that I wrote that was over 90K was His Sweetest Escape. But that's definitely something I've learned about myself as a writer. I enjoy
Mhm.
writing long love stories. I love taking my time with them. I love spending a lot of time with characters.
Mhm.
I have attachment issues, I think, because it'd be hard for me to let them go. And I think that's why I don't write a lot of books all the time because I get so attached. But
Hmm.
did I answer the question? What's the
You
journey?
did. No, we'll go back. I just wanted you to share specific books, but now you didn't. I didn't already heard a question that I need to ask.
Okay. I'm
I
sorry.
think I already have a question now. I'm just trailing you on your questions today, so I'm just following what you're saying. Um, when you write a book and
Mhm.
those characters are with you, like you said, and you just want to just stop because you have to. Eventually, the book has to end.
Right.
Have you considered, like, I know a lot of people, they just keep going with the next character. So example would be in Faye's book
Mhm.
and her sister Amari. It's Amari's her sister, right? I think
Mhm.
it's Amari. Like that, like to continue on with everyone else getting a story. Has that ever been a consideration?
Yes, that has been a consideration, and I did
Mhm.
do that with my books are behind me right here.
I know, I'm
I
looking.
wrote A Legendary Love, and the continuation is they're twin brothers. So A Legendary Love and what's the first one called? A Legendary Love and Loving a Legend. They are twin brothers, and so the first one is about the first twin Ace, and the second
Okay.
one is about the second twin Air, and that was because I love the twin idea first of all, but I knew that those are two characters. If I had to rank them, Ace and Air are probably my second favorite. I love
Oh.
Demi. I mean, I love Davy and Joseph, but Ace and Air, they're probably my second favorites. And so I definitely wasn't ready to let them go. And I had to write the other brother's story.
Well, I'm definitely gonna read those because I haven't read those, and I
I'll
mean
send them to
now
you.
yeah, and now, look, and now I'm excited. I'm just excited to read them because I just want, like I said, your whole catalog. I just love the story. Um, how important do you think it is to put social commentary into books accurately?
I do think
Meaning,
it's important.
mhm.
Go ahead.
No, no, go ahead, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I, I'm sorry. I think it's important. I think it is, first of all, I think it's important to tell the story that you want to tell. And if a bit of social commentary that is relevant to the story is in that,
Mhm.
then by all means. I am a person who I'm black. And so I love my people. I love my culture. Not only do I write books, but I also have a YouTube channel with my shooter, with my best friend, where we talk about all things black culture. And so I do think that it is important as just a creative to do your part in advocating for us. And so when it's natural in the story that I'm creating to do that, I definitely do that. And the only novella that I have released so far, I talk about a little bit of racial profiling, a
Mhm.
little bit of police brutality,
Right.
and it's because it was natural in the story, and because it's a whole thing, and
Right.
it needs to be talked about, and things need to get better. And so
I love that.
I'm
I
for
love
all
it.
things black always.
So you gonna have to tell us your YouTube channel because I can't get away from that.
Oh,
If
my
you don't mind
YouTube
sharing.
channel. Of course, yeah. Please subscribe. Our YouTube channel is We Are the Shooters, and it is, if you want to subscribe, you can type in our tag name, which is at the Shooters Network. I'll type it in the comment section.
Okay. Yeah. So we definitely can follow you because that's a good thing. Now, while you're typing that, you're very skilled in creative writing and writing books. I know you said that it takes you a while, like you stay with a character for a while, but
Mm-hmm.
so I'm trying to think of a way to. Why aren't you dropping books like a lot of other authors, like every other month? Or, why are you not doing that? Like, is there a reason?
I'm going to be honest with you. I definitely, and this is solely speaking for myself, not speaking for anyone else, because so many authors like Beloved produce quality content consistently. Like she is just an amazing author, and
Right.
she releases very consistently, and it's always bomb, right?
Right.
And so I believe in quality over quantity, and so I
Right.
release when I feel like the book is just good. And
Mm-hmm.
if I feel like the book is good every 30 days, I'll release every month. And honestly, I am at a space where I'm writing full time now. I was teaching full time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was teaching full time, so I didn't have time to write that much at that point. I was teaching third graders. It was a lot. But I am writing full time now, and so
Mm-hmm.
I do plan to be a lot more consistent.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if that means a book every month for me, but if it does, then it does. And if it is a book a month for me, that means that it's a good book every month, because I just don't play about quality. I want the book to be good, and before I release it, the question has to be answered. Why are they together? Why should they be together? It has
Mm-hmm.
to make sense. It has to be real. It can't,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not into the fantasy of the thing. It just has to make sense for me, so that, because I think I heard someone say one time, you have to love the quality. It might have been B. Simone. She was talking about how you have to love what you put out,
Mm-hmm.
because somebody's always going to have a problem with it. A lot of people in the reviews of my book Let It Happen had issues with the way that the story played out, but it was the story I wanted to tell, and it made sense for me, and I was in love with the story. And so when it went out, it was what the story I wanted to tell. And every story I ever put out is going to be the story I want to tell. And
Yes.
to me, it's going to be a 10 out of 10. So
Yeah, well, I'm about to read some of the reviews from Faze because that's the
thank you, Char.
last release book. That's Mari and Faze and Princess and Amari, and it was just everything was just done so well. So I'm
Thank
gonna
you.
read you the reviews as we start talking about it. Um, I sat here and cleaned my glasses, so let me put them on. Let's go. Um, this is what some of the reviews I just skimmed through. It was very enjoyable. A great read. Loved it. Highly recommended for everyone. 5 stars, phenomenal. 10 out of 10. Every page is important. Love at first sight. Great love story. Definitely would recommend. A beautiful story. Wow. Um, all I can say is that it's a must read. Loved everything about this story. Page Turner, good flow, good character development. It's just an amazing read. And there you go. That's just some of the stuff that people were saying.
Well,
I
thank.
happen to agree with all of it.
I love when
Absolutely
people
all
say
of
it's
it.
great character development because that's where I spend the majority of the writing
Yeah.
time is with the character development. So I love that. Thank you.
Yeah, it's very, very strong. So when you're I wouldn't say how do you come up with the topics, but what was the seed for this story? Because it was just a beautiful story because it's a single mom and it's love at first sight, and she's in in a relationship and doing things. She's struggling, she's a student, she wants more for her life, and she's on countdown. She doesn't have a good relationship with her child's father, she doesn't have a good relationship with her mother. She just wants to do better, and on a whim she bumps into Faze, who is like, that's gonna be my girl, I'm gonna marry her, that's gonna be my wife. And he
Mhm.
jumps on her journey, she doesn't
Mhm.
jump on his journey.
Right.
It's the other way around. He jumps on her journey to get where they need to be.
Right.
What was the seed for that story?
The seed for that story, I can't even tell you the origin. I am close to a few single mothers, so maybe that was the seed. But honestly, that was just one. I wanted to write a story about a boxer. I love Creed,
Uh-huh.
and I used to stay up late and watch fight nights with my daddy, and so I wanted to write a story about a boxer. So I think that's where it started,
Hmm.
and I I don't know if people know this, but I just love writing about men who don't play about their woman. And I think I've done enough of the, not that I've done enough because, I'm going to be writing for the rest of my life.
Uh-huh.
But I wanted to do something different. And something different is a woman who's already a mother. And everybody deserves love. And
Uh-huh.
Desi deserves love. And so I wanted to write a story about a boxer who met a single mother and he didn't care anything about her baggage. He just loved her anyway. Um,
Oh my goodness.
it was just an
Well,
idea.
it was just, I was going to ask you about the voice of the child, but I guess if you were a teacher of third graders, that may have come easy. But to
Yes.
be able to really intertwine the voice of a child so well,
Mm-hmm.
when you're your first reader, when you went back and read that story again, were you like, wow, like how good you did with intertwining that child's voice?
I definitely said that I did. I don't always give myself that many props, but for Phase, I said, girl, you did that. I
Yeah,
love that story. It's a good
yes.
one. It
It,
really
it it really is, and that's why I wanted to talk again about promoting, because I know in this industry, particularly as even though with a small indie publishing company, the only way that you really are seen is by interacting with content creators. I mean,
right.
it just is what it is. It's kind of like a relationship that we have to have with y'all, and you have to have with us in order to push these books so that people can see them. How much work are you putting into it, or do you feel like maybe not enough, or maybe a different platform? Like, what is your, now that you're full-time, your overall strategy, if you can share that with us, on how to make sure that your books are getting in the hands of readers that really, really, I mean, it's not even an issue that the books are excellent, so that's not an issue. It's getting them into the hands. Have you thought about that?
I have thought about it a lot recently as I
Mm-hmm.
am navigating this full time writing space. I have not done enough. That's first and foremost. I've
Mm-hmm.
been writing since 2022, and I think I could be a lot. I think my books could be a lot more visible than they are, but I a weakness of mine is that I'm very singular focused, and so it's like at this time I'm focusing on writing the book. At this time I'm working on focusing on teaching my kids or doing my schoolwork because I'm still in school for my
Right.
PhD. And so a lot of the time promotion gets the short end of the stick, and it's very unfortunate because of course I want people to read my books, and at this time I am just figuring out how to better navigate
Yeah.
social media and marketing, all those things. I can definitely do better. Give me some tips, honestly.
Listen, my thing is, if I like your book, I'm gonna do whatever I can to push your book. That's just me. If I read it and I like it, I'm like talking about it. I'm telling people, and I'm just like, come on, y'all got to read because the power of words, right? When you're writing these books, are you really, really feeling the power of your words, knowing that your books have the ability to change people's lives?
For sure.
Mhm.
I am very heavy on saying what I mean and meaning what I say.
Mhm.
I I think a lot about anytime I present anything to the public, how it could be perceived, and most importantly, just how I want to be perceived. So,
Right.
the power of my words is very important to me.
Yeah.
I, I'm just never going to come out with something that I wouldn't stand 10 toes behind. So, yeah.
You take your time with it. Well, I tell you what, like I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. I'm gonna go back to these. I'm gonna read more. I'm gonna keep sharing. I'll do giveaways, like anything that Girlfriends Unfiltered can do, because I know this. I mean, I read Phase twice, and I had Alexa read it to me. So I've
Period.
had like the full immersive experience, and it was really good. But when I tell you the sweetest, what is the sweetest escape? I just loved it.
Did you?
I did. I liked,
Okay.
I mean, it was so visual. It's so funny because when I think about it, for some reason, I just think about Hawaii and I think about her being on that bicycle and leaving out. It's like for out of all the scenes, that one and then the one inside of the carport, inside of the garage where she's
Oh,
in.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Those two things kind of stick in my brain the most from the story. But
Really?
but that's good because they were, first of all, they were two totally different scenes, two totally different locations.
Yeah.
And so it was like, yeah, it was beautiful. It was, what was it like writing that book? Because you did it well, was a location away.
What was it like writing that book? The inspiration for that book, actually, I was talking about the first romance story I ever fell in love with.
Uh-huh.
I at that time it was two books. It was the book that I just talked about that my aunt gave me, and then my cousin who I don't know how she got the book, but she gave me this other book about I can't even think of the name of it, but it was about this getaway. And that book was in my head as I was developing the idea for his sweetest escape.
Uh-huh.
And that bike scene that you were just talking about where he saw her, that scene, I got that it was inspired by the first book that I read when he saw this woman for the first time in a lot of years. She was like taking a jog and she ran by him
Hmm.
and she just stuck with him, and I liked that. And so I was like, we can jump off from there. Like he sees her and she never leaves his brain from there. So
Yeah, again, another good job.
thank you.
I mean, I haven't read one that I haven't liked. I'm just saying. Um, what is it like? Because she went to a Christian school, a third grade teacher. I mean, I know that doesn't really have anything to do with it, but you write pretty amazing lovemaking sex scenes.
Thank you.
What is your research into getting that right? And what is that like? I mean, what is that experience like?
Uh, the research is, girl. Uh, the research is, I would say it's not very extensive, but it's honestly my imagination and what feels real for those characters. And so the dialogue, the actions in my love scenes is just what would this couple do? Because you'll see a difference in my very first books with Davy and Joseph, and even my book Let It Happen. That's a character that was introduced in those books.
Mhm.
Their sex scenes are on totally different levels, and it's because Davy is a lot more reserved than her best friend Christy was. And so it's a total jump in just how they get down. But I think it's just what feels natural for those characters to me and my imagination. I just
Okay.
get in my bag for a second or two and
Yeah,
you know,
well,
I write.
I don't know why I have this vision in my head. I don't know. I keep thinking Amari's gonna get a book, so I'm gonna put that in the universe. But I can see her book being really,
You
really
think so?
spicy.
She
I,
got her man in that book, but she might. We'll
yeah,
see. She might get a
but
novella.
yeah, we get to get his story. Like I'm just, that's just me. Like I just be putting out subliminals.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Because I could just see her being more just hot and more,
She is different than her
sexy
sister,
and
so I can see
steamy. Yeah, because they were so different.
it. Yeah. I,
She was more like, go get your man, it was, yeah, it was really good. Um, if there was some advice that you can give someone new, a new author stepping into this, maybe not as nearly educated as you,
hmm
what would you share? What would that advice be?
My advice would be to write the story that's in your head. I think that
Mhm.
my first story came easy because it's just what I wanted to write. I think that at later times,
Mhm.
like even with the book I'm about to publish on August 8th, I think I've been getting in my own head a lot lately about are they going to like this? And when I wrote my first book, I was writing my thesis and I didn't care if my thesis director liked my book. I liked my book. And so I would just encourage new writers to write what you want to write. And the people who like that, they're going to gravitate to your book. Be story focused instead of reader focused because the right readers are going to come to you when you write the story you want to write.
Yeah, I always say every book's not for everybody, but every book is for somebody.
Right.
And I also, another thing I always say is that sometimes, even though it's fiction, that fiction is somebody's life.
Yeah.
And so there's somebody who probably has walked that walk and lived that experience.
For
And
sure.
so, yeah, and then it's just like giving it back to us. On upcoming projects, this new book, what should we expect?
What should
I
we
mean, the
expect?
airplane on the cover is the winner for me.
I will say this. I was just talking about how I'm a long-winded girly and I
Uh-huh.
write long stories. This is not that. This is a 40,000 word. I called it a novella, and then B Love was like, "Girl, that's not a novella. It's just a novella for you because you
You
long-winded."
write all books, right?
And so I was like, "Okay, then." So it is. It's shorter,
Hmm.
and because of that, I would say that the character development is not as extensive, but it is there.
Hmm.
It is a second chance romance, hence the name Verse 2. This is like the second verse in their love song. And it is close proximity.
Hmm.
It's snowed in vibes. So I could tell you this. They these
No,
characters
don't
they
tell us. Do not tell us. Let
don't
us
tell
just be
okay.
surprised. Because I'm gonna tell you this. Sharp, Bobby laugh. When it said verse 2, I'm like, how did I miss book 1?
Oh
Here I am
no.
going back through your thing.
No, it's
And
just
then I
second
came back,
chance.
I was like, I
Yeah.
was gonna be so frustrated. I'm like, I know I didn't miss it.
No, you ain't missed nothing. You ain't missed nothing. I will say I enjoyed Second Chance Romance a lot because I was
Uh-huh.
talking about how the books have to make sense. The love has to make sense.
Uh-huh.
And when I write a shorter story, they're probably gonna already know each other just because um I just insta love is just it don't make sense to me
Yeah.
personally. And so whenever I write a book that's a little shorter, they probably know each other already. So they can fall in
Okay.
love a little quicker.
Fall in love with love. Will you always keep them in Channing? Channing, right? Channing? Am I saying the right?
Cheney,
Channing.
Cheney. I like Atlanta, and this book actually starts in New York and goes to
Okay.
Paris. So
Okay.
yeah.
Excited for that. Oh, look, I'm so ready. I'm like, okay, come on, August 8th.
Hmm.
Y'all, the new book drops on August 8th. And I'm going to pause for a minute because we're talking to author Jaimsss P. This was her very first book. And if y'all go back and watch this interview, you're going to find out how she came up with this book. This was her thesis, y'all. Never heard anything like that before. Just
Oh wow.
amazing. It's what I love about this community. I love the fact that it's so much creative vibe, and it looks different for each and every person, and the books land different on
Mm,
everybody differently.
yeah.
Um, I'm gonna say just keep doing what you're doing. The greatness is just,
Thank
these
you.
books
I
they
appreciate
stick in history. I want to know, just for my selfish want,
it.
when are we gonna see you at more book events?
I would say 2026. Yeah, I have to. and maybe I can
I'm
help me with this. I have to fully step into my identity as an author. I literally feel like I've spent the last 7 years identifying as teacher, and then
uh-huh.
this writing stuff is just something that kind of happened. And so when I see book events, I'm like, they want people who like are like actual authors. Like, don't nobody know my books, and so I just don't sign up. But yeah, I just got to get
Sis,
my life
please,
together with that.
please sign up.
Yeah.
Please sign up. You write beautiful. Your work is beautiful. And
Thank you.
just the things that you put in your book. I told someone earlier, I think I was doing a live on TikTok or something, and I was like, she writes like gentle love, like that kind of
Mm-hmm.
love that just makes you feel good, and
Yeah.
it feels like a love that's tangible. It's not. I
You
mean,
get
there.
it.
I
That's
don't know if
exactly
I
what
mean,
I
maybe
aim
meeting
for.
the billionaire is,
Mm-hmm.
but it just feels good. It's like feel good reads, and it's well written. It always flows well. The character development is always dope. I'm just gonna need you to just be at these events
I'm gonna have to.
because I think you would
2026
enjoy
for
it.
sure. Thank
Yeah.
you.
And like I said, and as we continue to push and promote and it's very different. So when I first met you at in Memphis
Mm-hmm.
at B Love's event, and then to now, the whole book community looks so different. It's so
I agree with that.
different.
Yeah.
It's so different because now there's a lot of new there and new readers coming in by way of TikTok
Mm-hmm.
that are new. And so even though you're on book 9, they don't know about book 1. Where the
Right.
people like Shar and I and others, we know every single last one of the books.
Yeah.
So I just think they need to get reintroduced to a lot of your work. And
They do.
that's all it takes. That's all
Yeah.
it takes. It's just some reintroduction. So I want to say thank you so much for your time and your talent. And is there anything that I missed that you want us to know about you? Or if anyone has a question that they want to ask, you can put that in too.
Yeah, if y'all have questions, I'll definitely answer them. I just appreciate you. Thank you for inviting me and,
Mhm.
hearing my story. I appreciate it so much.
Sharks, yes, that's beautiful advice. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm gonna get
Because,
my life together when it comes to these events. I really am.
and when people want to purchase a book from you and a signed book from you, what is that process? Oh, okay. There's another question before that one. Shar has a question. Do you ever expect audiobooks?
I do expect audiobooks. I think that the key to me and audiobooks, first of all, is consistency. I think I've been focusing on writing books for the last 3 years.
Mhm.
And like I said earlier, I'm very singular focused. So it's just hard for me to think about all the things, but
Mhm.
I'm practicing that now. And so definitely audiobooks in the future. I've been so focused on writing the books, but people need to hear them too
Yeah,
because
and
it's
it's
a whole
coming.
other community over there. Yeah, they're
It
definitely.
is. It is. I'm gonna put that in there. They're gonna reach out to you within the next month or two. You watch. You're gonna be like, Yoga told me that.
Yeah.
Ashar. I'll just be speaking it. I'll be like, it's gonna happen. Because I can totally see and hear phase in an audiobook. And there is
Mm-hmm.
a large community that only listens to audiobook for
Yeah.
many reasons, whether it be, from vision impairment or just the fact that maybe they're just a working mom and they just don't have time or
Yeah.
just to sit down and read
And
or
I've got
just
listening to them too.
yeah, and then they're actors, and so you get like it's like the people come off the pages. It's just a very beautiful experience. Like I said, I mean, like I did it twice. I did it with Alexa, so yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yoka had the magical. It's the truth. And she's speaking it. I'm just
Period.
saying it.
I
Literally,
will
like
remember
for
this.
a
I'm
minute,
gonna post this
everybody that I
when that
interviewed, and
happens.
I'll be like, "You're gonna get it," and boom, they got a phone call like right away. So we're gonna put
I'm gonna
that
post
out.
this. I'm gonna pin this.
Yeah, because it's just a beautiful this is a beautiful book, a beautiful space. It's well written. It's something that I could totally see some narrators who are actors just handling this like and like I said, I've read the other books, but definitely in Faye's book because I mean just the whole boxing ring scenes and things of that sort, where the actors are able to bring that to life when they
Mm-hmm.
read it off the pages. So yes, yes, yes. See now I didn't forgot the question I asked before that question, but But I think I covered just about everything. Let me just make sure. And we talked about we covered just about everything. I'm just excited for you. I'm excited that you get to do this full time. And again,
Hmm.
sometimes I can get a little selfish because for me that means that, oh, you know what, I might get a little more often. you
Definitely more
know.
often, for sure. I'm
So
working on my next one right now.
yay! Any trope, that's what I want to know, that you would like to explore that you haven't, that maybe even out of your comfort zone,
Uh, any
like
trouble? I
an
can think of one. If you
erotica
gave me
or.
one, maybe I could. That I haven't explored. I'm open to anything. I'll say that. I'm
Mhm.
open to anything as long as I can create an idea that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're gonna see. Perhaps like kind of like I can ask someone with your skills like creative writing. I can only imagine what the erotica would look like, but that's just me.
You know what? That's gonna take some. I really gotta get, because really, you said that I write really good sex scenes, and I be overthinking them so much. I'm like, ain't nobody gonna want to read this. So
Mm-mm.
I never even thought about erotica before. But hey, I'm open to anything as long as it makes sense.
Well, we're for it. Are you gonna be a part of? I know they do. It's gonna be Christmas time there where B Love normally does like Shar says a coming of age. Um,
Hmm.
they normally
I
do
will be.
like a, what do you call it, like a, where all of the authors do like a Christmas series or something like that. Are you looking to be a part of any of those collabs like that?
I am
Okay.
being honest again. When BLP comes with these series, I always want to participate. But I
Hmm.
don't write fast enough for B Love Publications in a series, so I be missing out. I had the best idea for the Motorcycle Club series,
Uh-huh.
but I didn't finish it in time. But B is very sweet, and so she's coming back around with the Motorcycle Club next year, and my book gonna be ready for that. But yeah, for sure,
Okay.
I plan to be a part of the next BOP collab. Now that I'm writing full time, I'm like, I'm in the lab, so
See, there you go. Well,
yeah.
again, thank you so much for your time and your talent. I'm gonna post this on YouTube. You guys go and click and like Girlfriends Unfiltered Interviews. Also, go click and like the Shooters Network.
The Shooters Network. Yep.
Um, and also like just follow. I always try. I'm gonna start saying this at the end of all of my things. Authors follow creators. I know sometimes it's like that's how we know what authors are following us. Those are the authors that our brains naturally take us to.
Mm,
And so if you're liking their stuff, the likelihood is that they're going to reach back and pull you up. So just keep that in mind. That's how we know who you guys are, is by you guys, interacting with us, even if it's just a click, a simple click. It
yeah.
goes really a long way on all the different platforms. And in many cases, you guys are writing books, but content creators are indeed doing this out of the passion, out of their hearts. They're not
And
getting
I love
paid.
y'all so much.
Yeah, and the only way that they do is by follow. Our following counts matters because then it allows us to do more on our social networks.
Right, right.
So I'm just putting that out there to the universe for all of y'all to see. And also, I just want to say thank you. You're
Thank you.
amazing. A first. I mean, it's always a first, but it was definitely a first to hear that this was your thesis. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's beautiful. So
Thank you.
that's all I got. And other than that, I'm gonna look forward to seeing you at some book events eventually.
Yes.
And if you're interested, I know a couple that they have actually reached out to me and asked me, did I know of any authors that would be interested in going. So if you think about it and it's something you're interested in, I know one is in North Carolina.
Oh,
Reach out to
cool.
me and let me know that, and I can just connect you with the um, person who's doing it.
I
So.
sure will. And send me your address. I will mail you those
Oh,
other books that you haven't read.
I absolutely will. Thank you. And I'm looking forward. You're going to start seeing me. I'm thinking this is the first book I'm going to I might make a TikTok or something about this right away. So I'll
Period.
make sure I tag you in it. You're on TikTok as well under your author name?
Yes, James writes. That's on everything. James writes.
Okay.
And James
Jam.
is with 3 S's.
3 S's. All righty. Well, thank you so much. You have a good night. Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Thank you. You too. See ya. Love you, Shar.